Hey everyone, how's it going? So, today I'd like to discuss something that's been brewing in my mind for some time. Even though I haven't played the games or enjoyed them in some time, I've been thinking quite a bit about Pokemon Mania, the point in time in which Pokemon was everywhere. It was simply unescapable. Literally everyone you knew was talking about it. But in the past few years, this hype has dramatically died down. I could make a very long video essay on the downfall of Pokemon, but there are literally thousands of other videos doing the same thing, so I won't do that. So instead, I'll encourage you to go watch just one of those videos. Instead, I'd like to discuss why I think Pokemon Mania may return in the upcoming years, and potentially be even bigger than it ever was. But to elaborate my point correctly, let's go back for 1 second. So Pokemon Mania first came to the world when the first Pokemon games came out. Pokemon Red, Green, and Blue. I actually, at this point, wasn't born. My first introduction to the series, and therefore my first obsession, was Pokemon Black and White. Like every other kid, I was entirely consumed by Pokemon, and for the longest time I never knew why. Of course, the game itself is actually really fun, but there was something else about this game that completely captivated me. And now that I am a bit older and hopefully a bit wiser, I think I know what it was. Mainly, it was the social interaction. The Pokemon games do a very unique thing where they essentially force you to meet other people to get the full experience. When the first Pokemon games came out, to trade Pokemon, you had to meet other people. During my generation, online trading was a thing. Even so, in my experience, kids on the playground would usually just trade amongst themselves. And yes, it may be true that this social aspect is very prevalent today. Most gaming social interactions usually take place within your home, like Fortnite or Call of Duty. However, Pokemon took this to the next level and asked its players to go outside and meet other people. And things eventually died down from there, until there was a small renaissance from the mobile app Pokémon Go. Like the games before it, what made Pokémon Go so special was the integration of social interaction from others and the world around you. And I would argue it applied this practice far better than the games did, since on top of being able to trade, you can also catch Pokémon in the real world. And eventually, Pokemon Go also died down. In both of these examples, what made them so special was the integration of social interaction in the real world. Therefore, what would bring about a third Pokemon Mania would be taking this concept and expanding on it again. But at first, I didn't think that was possible. I thought we reached the limit of how much this concept could be integrated in our world. That was until I saw Apple's Vision. The Apple Vision Pro is Apple's take on AR, or augmented reality, where interfaces are implemented into our world. And in the grand scheme of things, it isn't the best product. It looks really clunky to move around, it is really expensive, and all things considered, it isn't that useful. But it is very impressive. Apple's take on AR is probably the best I've seen so far from any company. And I think that's when I realized the next step in Pokemon's social interaction is through the use of AR headsets. Now, Pokemon Go has this to a degree, however, what I'm talking about is true AR. Being truly submersed in a augmented reality where our world and the world of Pokemon are combined together. This may seem far-fetched, however, seeing the advancements in AR today, the technology needed for this is closer than you think. Now, of course, for the concept to work, the technology needs to become affordable for everyone, which may take a few more years. But if it does, a true Pokemon AR experience would take the concept of social interaction to its logical extreme. And I think most people, especially kids, would really like it. Or, I don't know, maybe I'm just crazy and I need to go back to working on my 15 assignments due for next week.